Yo, what's up everybody? Nasty here, and this is episode 2 of my World of Warcraft vlog. Let's get it. Week 1, the hype is real. No, but for real. The guild was super ecstatic this week, myself included. This is like the first content that we've had as a guild from the start. So, like I said, we only formed like 3-4 months ago and had our first crack at Mythic. So this is our first time really jumping into Heroic, and let me tell you, it went pretty fine. Good. Yeah, let's say good. This is my first successive raid since Wrath. The group felt super excited, and it definitely showed. There was a lot of, what's going on? Where am I supposed to be? But that's what I like about Heroic. You get a chance to figure out the mechanics a bit, and then move on to the next boss. All in all, we ended the night 3 of 9, which I would say is pretty good for our first night. And the thing I'm most excited about, though, is that we have an opportunity to grow and continue to become a better team before we really have to start chopping down on the number of people we're bringing. Personally, I didn't feel like I was doing so well, but you know what? That's fine with me. Right now, I just want to focus on mechanics, and the damage will come later. So let's take a look at some of the mechanics that I screwed up and I'm going to be working on for this week. One of the first things that I like to do is load all of my logs into WoW Analyzer. It does a really good job of taking your logs, all that information and data, and putting it into more of a consumable fashion for you to be able to really understand what you did good and not so good on. Another one of the features that they have is this details panel. And I really like it because it shows you what spells you've cast, what the GCD is, how long it took to channel, and how long some of those spells are on cooldown. Right now what we're going to do is take a look at this space in the 103-104 section. You can see that I had about 6 seconds of downtime. That's a long time. I wasn't casting anything. I wasn't doing anything productive. So let's see if we can go back to the logs and figure out what was actually going on. So back here in the replay view, we're going to scroll over to about 1 minute and then make sure that I'm selected. You can see that it's showing the spells that I'm casting right underneath my name and the ones that were casted previously just on the left, as well as the buffs. Oh, there's a debuff. Let's stop and see what it says. Blinding Faith. Releases a wave of divine light, disorienting all enemies facing the caster for 5 seconds. This is something that's clearly dodgeable, so I definitely need to make sure that I'm not facing the casters whenever Blinding Faith is going off. Next, let's take a look at Grung. As before, we're going to take the logs and load them into WoW Analyzer. Here though, we're going to take a look at our statistics page. Again, this has a lot of useful information, such as downtime, cast cancels, overall damage done, and spec specific information as well. For this, I really want to focus on getting my downtime under 15%. Grung isn't really a difficult fight when it comes to mechanics. It's been referred to as the patchwork of the raid. So I really want to focus on making sure that I can get my downtime down and my damage up. In the details, you can see that we're over at about 4 minutes and 20 seconds, and I have a 6-second gap. So we're going to go back over to the logs like we did before, look at the replays, and try to figure out what was I doing and what caused me to not be casting anything for that long. Back in the logs, we're going to jump back to just a little bit before 420. What I'm looking for here is what I'm casting. I'm not really doing anything, and then I cast a Frostbolt, and I interrupt that Frostbolt, and then start moving towards the ad. I was looking for the ad without continuing to cast spells. Just because I'm moving around and looking around doesn't mean that I actually have to stop doing what I'm doing. I need to do a little bit of a better job multitasking in this fight and make sure that I keep damage on the boss while I'm still trying to locate the ads and switch targets to them. Sunday's raid started out great. Opulence we got down in about 2 or 3 pulls, and overall I think went really smoothly. One of the things that I need to work on though is managing my topaz stacks and watching out for the fire in the last room. The topaz stacks, I understand, build up as you're away, and then when you hit 100 stacks gives everybody a crit buff, but I really need to try to figure out where I can build those stacks so that way I can try to get to 100 stacks earlier when we get into the main room. Kansa, on the other hand, was a little bit harder, and we got about 20 pulls on him Sunday and still didn't get them down. We kept having this really weird frame rate issue, where every time that one of the bosses would die, we would get about 1 to 2 seconds of lag. It was really frustrating everybody, and it always seemed to happen when Kragwa would be coming into the raid. I don't think that we'll have a whole lot more pulls though until we get them down. So what are your thoughts on the raid? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks everybody for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.